I'll stand head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go home, feeling big small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day, I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. How can I even try? I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in. How could she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round, all you clowns, let me hear you say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, how you doing there, guitar heroes? All right, well, we've got a Beatles song today for you, if you haven't figured that out already. It's You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And if I remember right, I think this was on one of the movies that the Beatles put out in 1965. But I can't remember which one it is. And I didn't look it up and I didn't write it out. So that's what you get. And man, it's a great acoustic guitar song. That's pretty much what it was made for. There might be some electric in it. I really can't remember now, but primarily you got John singing and playing the acoustic guitar. So that part really makes this another real key classic acoustic song. Now, we don't have a lot of complication in it. We start out with a G. We've got a D. Then we have an F, which I've been playing today in F major 7. And the difference between an F major 7 and an F is basically, the bar chord is usually how I'll play it. I use an E form, slide up 1, and that's my bar chord. But an F major 7, I've got the first finger is in the C position, B string first fret. Then I'm going to go to the second fret on the G string, the next one up, and then the next finger is going to go on the D string, and you get this sound. Nice movable chord there. And I'm not sure if that's exactly the way he played it. It sounds okay to me. It doesn't sound bad. It sounds like that he could have used that. Now, of course, there's a couple ways to play this. One of them is to let the high E string ring out, or you could deaden it or not play it at all. But it sounds like it's okay to me, so that's the way I'm doing it. But obviously then the other way would be to do the bar chord. Or if you're really good, then you can do the 2-finger thing like this. I have a hard time doing that with any speed. So, G, D, F major 7 for me, G, and that's really the 4-chord, the 3-chord progression, because that's all there is. G, D, and this F, and then back to G. Now when we get to this little chorus thing, hey, you got to hide your love away, then we do have we start with a G, we got a C, and then we have a D, a suspended, or D sus, as you typically see it, D, S-U-S. That's the D with the little pinky down here. And we've got a little 3-chord little run that we've talked about before in the other lessons on with a D. We start with a D suspended, then we go back to a D, and then I'm going to lift this finger, and that's a D9, and sometimes I might see that as a D sus or suspended 4. Either one, I don't know if it matters, but and then back, and then bring the finger back down for a D, and then that is the whole song. So let's start on the verse here. We got G, here I, D, stand, F, head in hand, C, turn my face to the wall. And so that's kind of a quick little F to a C. And that makes it a lot easier to do that than getting into F form. That's more stuff there. So that's part of the reason why I went to that F major 7. But I kind of like the sound of it too. And you pass through it. You don't hold. It's not being held out. So the first 2 lines are the same thing. G, the F, the G, D, F, G, C, and then the F or the F, C at the end. So, here I stand, head in hand, C, turn my face to the F, C, G, if she's D, I, F, can't go G, on the feeling, C, 2 foot F, C, D. And so there's pretty much the 2 verses, because that's all there is. There's 2 verses and there's 2 choruses. So there's not a whole lot. Now there is a little instrumental, and I don't even know really what's playing. I can kind of hear it in my head. It must be some kind of a keyboard, but oh, you know what? I think there might be a flute. Maybe it's a flute and a keyboard, but there's something weird. There's not a guitar solo that I remember in it. So simple from that perspective, with an F, a G, and a D, and an F. I'm not really sure what key this thing's in. I'm kind of guessing C, because when I see C's and F's, I'm kind of thinking that way, because the key of C is, remember, C is our 1 chord, our 2 chord is F, or our 4 chord, I'm sorry, and then our 5 chord is G. So that's what I think. I think that's the key that it's in. And then we've got the D in there too. That's kind of the odd one here. So let's go through that little chorus then. Now when you come off the last line, So we got I can D, see them, C or F, laugh at me, C, I hear them, and I hear them say F, say A. We got the F, C, D, and then we kind of give it a quick little hey, hey, slam on the G too, and hold it. I just kind of cut it off there. Hey, you've got to see, hide your love away. And then we go. Same thing for the second verse, or the second line on the chorus. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. So that's that's pretty much the song. The speed of the chord changes is a little bit tough, and I'm thinking this is kind of like an intermediate song. You got to at least have your chords well formed and be able to move them a little bit. So let's kind of get the strumming thing here. So I think that's your strumming pattern right there. Not too tough, a kind of a medium speed, and it's through the whole song. So to work on this song, you know, I mean, this is a good chord progression to work on anyway, right? So you can just kind of take your time. G, D, F major 7, back to G, C, F, back to C, and I just kind of go around and around with that, and hopefully you've already worked on this D thing. And there's a couple of other ways you can start. In this particular song, we start with the suspended, but sometimes you don't with many other songs. So it's used in a lot of songs when you get to the end of a line to kind of stick that little thing in there, that little run. All right, I hope you like this song. It's a good one. It's different than the other Beatles songs just because of the acoustic and very little guitar. There's no intro and lead part in it too. It's basically just John strumming with. And there's probably drums in here too, but pretty light, pretty much an acoustic song. So there you go, Beatles. Rubber Soul album, if I remember right, 1965. The guys had these brown suede jackets on, which actually looked pretty cool at the time in 1965. So there you go. Keep on a strumming. Catch you next time.